Hello and welcome, my beautiful loves, to your Transformation Tuesday energy reading for the week. We are diving into the Healing Light Tarot, the Moonology manifestations, and as always, your soul's truth, to see what messages and guidance are coming through for you. Where are you expanding? What are you releasing? And giving yourself permission to move forward, to lean in, to trust the process, and to embrace where you are along the way. Taking a few moments as you breathe in deep, allowing yourself to center and ground. Exhaling and releasing. It's time for you to collaborate, to listen to your guides, to sit in silence, to allow yourself to receive the messages that are coming through. The world is in your favor, and you are the artist holding the pen. It's time to recognize that you are doing the work. You're showing up. You're allowing yourself. Here's the thing. When you're raising your vibration, when you're shifting the energy that is around you, what you're doing is giving yourself permission to move forward, to celebrate yourself, to love yourself. You're making a decision. Rather than being in like chaos and turmoil and getting like lost in all of the options, you're making one decision. And the moment that you make that decision is the moment that everything moves forward. Because even if you look at this, right, you're making the decision to embrace the world, to recognize that you have the world at your fingertips and you are worthy of being held by love. You are worthy of moving forward, of embracing the death card, right? You got to give yourself permission to move forward. That means making different choices. That means showing up in a different energy and allowing yourself even to walk away from the mindsets, from the perspectives, from the behaviors, from the patterns, from holding on to this not enoughness. Everything is working in your favor and you are so divinely guided because that's what you're giving your energy to. You're not holding on to this past shit anymore. It's not part of you. And so you have the ability to show up differently because you're honoring yourself. Knight of Wands, you're showing up confident and empowered rather than like in and out and in and out and in and out. It's like the steady climb is what I've heard. Right? Rather than it's like, yes, okay, the Tower card in, the massive transformation and giving yourself that permission to move forward. It's also allowing yourself to recognize that, when the Tower arrives, it's not something to like fear or run away from. It's literally the universe guiding you and supporting you and empowering you to be who you came here to be. It's being like, hey, this isn't in alignment with you anymore. It's time for you to move forward. It's time for you to be this person over here because this is the alignment that you're asking for. And when you show up in that space, you give yourself permission. You allow yourself to be seen. And you let go of the attachments of holding on to it or feeling like you have to control it. You're not holding on to the, opening yourself up. If you hold on to this over here or sitting in this like discontentment of things not being what they are, then you continue to experience this stuff and you miss this. You miss the Ace of Cups. You miss the open door. You miss the connection and the interactions and what they're mirroring back onto you about you and being like, hey, showing you like, you know what, you do still want this and it's okay for you to want this and to be in this space. And, you know, for you to quantum field, infinite possibilities, anything is possible. It's really like, what are you giving your focus and attention to? We start off, we have the Seven of Cups. So really being in that space of every single door is open for you. It's what are the doors that you want to step through, is what I literally just heard. Every door is open for you. What are the doors that you want to step through? What are you creating? Allowing yourself to move forward, giving yourself permission to be seen. You can't... Seven of Pentacles with the Five of Pentacles. You're coming in from out of the cold. You're letting this go, and you're reflecting on the abundance, how you're showing up. You're looking at everything is working in your favor because you're giving your energy to that. You're sitting in this, and then 757, allowing yourself to move that energy forward. You are bringing yourself in from out of the cold. You are giving yourself permission to be seen in the spotlight, to shine, to share, to love, to be open. That's the thing. You have to be open to receive. You have to give yourself the permission to expand your own experience. 11:21 on my clock right at the moment. You're walking away from emotional deception. You're walking away from the chaos. You're walking away from the drama. You're walking away from the things that are not in alignment with what it is that you're attracting and you're manifesting. You're moving through it. You're letting go of the emotional attachments to the outcome. This is really all about you living in that space of abundance, of it already is. It is done. It is done. It is done. It is done. And I trust the process, and I'm showing up because, again, I have to be me, myself, right? And you, yourself, you have to be willing to walk away from the emotional patterns, the deception, the turmoil, the pain, the angst, the what isn't working. Reflect on the work that you're doing and how it is evolving and expanding, shifting that perspective of, rather than looking at it even in this space of like being overwhelmed by all of the options and everything that is open to you, how can you sit in this space of gratitude and be like, thank you for the options, thank you for the open doors, thank you for the lessons, and reframing that narrative, because you even have the Magician popping out at the bottom, but in the reverse, right? So you are the creator of your own reality, and there's that Magician again, as well as the Hierophant. So this is you really being committed, right? You're showing up as, I am the creator of my own reality. I am worthy of receiving that which I am asking for. And the Hierophant is, you're so committed to that energy of being this version of you. 11:23 on the clock. 1123, you're moving forward, you're taking steps, you're meeting yourself, even in the process of things like going awry, rather than, holding on to it or being in this space of like, oh my God, not enoughness, whatever it is. What you're doing is giving yourself permission to be so committed to this end goal that you're allowing yourself to walk away from the deceptions. You're allowing yourself to, look at the work that you're doing and the abundance that it's creating. The King of Pentacles. You're being grounded within your own masculine strength and stability. You're showing up confident and focused and centered within yourself. And your guides want you to celebrate that. Be really proud of yourself, because you are showing up differently, and you are moving forward, and you're letting go of this. The more and more that you're in this energy of everything is always working out for me, I always have enough, I am always provided for, I am safe to expand and explore, you're allowing yourself to witness, and then you're recreating those mindsets and perspectives, so that when you're in this space of doubt or insecurities, you can be like, hold the phone, wait a second. I made this work, and I made this work, and this turned out, and this went my way, and this happened this way, and you know, I am safe, and I am protected, and I am allowed to be me, and I'm giving myself permission. Ace of Cups. You're creating a new emotional relationship with yourself. You're honoring those emotions. You're meeting yourself in that space, but you're also like not getting wrapped up in it either. So you're acknowledging when you're kind of in an ebb or a flow, or, you know, allowing yourself to be, and rather than looking at it in this space of, you know, I'm not valued or worthy or whatever it is, you're reframing those narratives. You're learning to communicate with yourself from a more emotionally empowered space versus the space of not enoughness. You're giving yourself permission to move forward, to be like, hey, okay, I've accepted this, I've allowed this, and so now I get to make that decision to move myself forward. You're removing the blindfold. The Two of Swords, the King of Cups in the reverse, and then you also have the High Priestess in the reverse. So this to me is really like removing the blindfold, because this could be the like obstacle and challenge even, is removing the blindfold to allow yourself to really step into that highest self. You know, the King of Cups in the reverse is emotional immaturity in like the masculine sense. And so look at, you know, how maybe have you been showing up in that energy, and can you give yourself permission to move through it? Being the High Priestess, you're learning how to coach yourself. You're learning how to, you know, show up in this different energy to allow yourself to, you know, receive the guidance as it is needed, while also honoring that you hold the answers within yourself. You are doing the work. You're meeting yourself in this space, and you're removing the blindfolds of deception. You're not, you know, you're aware of it. So, I mean, if you're sitting in the space of like pity party, for example, you're acknowledging it, and rather than, again, holding on to it or staying stuck in it, you're allowing yourself to move through it. You're sitting in it. You're acknowledging it. You're acknowledging what you're holding on to, and you're giving yourself that permission. Move forward. The High Priestess is really you honoring who you are, speaking your truth, allowing yourself to see the truth, to be like, okay, hey, so as an example, I had this experience the other day at the salon where this dad and this little boy came in, and it's the like potential of the opportunity, single dad, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. And, you know, for myself, being aware of that, like, could he be the one, not in the energy of like him being the one, because I don't think it's not about that, but about acknowledging that I want that, and that's okay, and it's okay for me to want that, because that's part of what my soul came here to do, and allowing myself to hold on to that future more than I'm holding on to the past, and giving yourself to permission to show up differently, being in the emotions, honoring where you're at, and everything going click, 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 because you are in the space that you're meant to be in. All right, and what is the like guidance? What is support and guidance that you have for us towards this end goal? What are the obstacles and challenges that you're guiding us through? So King of Swords, speaking your truth, being grounded in your truth. You have the Four of Wands, celebrating how far you have come. You also have the Queen of Cups, which is interesting because even if you look here, the King and Queen of Cups with this High Priestess And then you have the Page of Pentacles in the reverse, and then you have the Justice card in the reverse. So this to me is really acknowledging, like, you have to put yourself in that frequency and being grounded in what it is that you're asking for. So the King of Swords, this is like anchored in your masculine of follow through is what I just heard, communicating your desires and then giving yourself the space to do the work. You're reframing those narratives. The Queen of Cups is, you know, emotional stability within yourself, but then the King of Cups in the reverse is allowing yourself to move through the emotional instability and, you know, celebrate that, again, when you're in the spaces of emotions, rather than like berating yourself for them or beating yourself up for them or, you know, different things like that, what you're doing is you're honoring, you're acknowledging, and you're allowing yourself to be where you are. You're giving yourself permission and you're not holding on. You're witnessing the magic of expansion and, you know, tuning in. Where can you let go a little bit more of that past of not enoughness, or, you know, the societal conditions of needing to be this way or that way, or, you know, other things like that. This, excuse me, is really like, where are you getting held up on? Like, because I'm hiccuping, and when we're hiccuping, it's like we're excuse me, we're getting hung up on shit, right? And so we're hiccuping. It's almost like we're like it's like you're gonna fumble a little bit, you're gonna stumble, it's gonna feel really weird, you're gonna have those moments where you're gonna want to like throw the fucking towel in and be like, what the hell am I doing? 11:31 on my clock. But don't get hung up on that, because again, you are the magician and you've created, oh my God, you've created this. This is what you've asked for, so that you can move through it, so that you can expand your own experience, so you can give yourself permission to grow. You can give yourself permission to recognize, even when you're unaware of the how, right? This Justice card, even being in, this is like going through a rude awakening, right? Sometimes you need to hit that like boom, smack in the face for you to recalibrate, for you to redirect that energy. Because even here you have the King of Swords, the King of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. And 2 out of the 3 of those are in the upright. So when we're looking at that, sorry, it's literally like I smell something burning. Give me 1 second. I think it's just the stage, and that's okay. Okay, it's snowing outside, and I don't have anything else on fire here. It's just got to be the incense burning the sage. Okay. I was like, why is that going on? I'm like, just double checking, right? Making sure you're safe. But this to me is really like, if you continue to hold on to those past experiences or the traumas of your past, then you continue to keep that energy alive. And when you're removing the blindfold of the stories that you've been telling yourself, it's going to feel a little wobbly and shaky at first, but this is really all about you, you know, in that wobble and that shaky. What you're doing is creating this path and process of feeling worthy and held in the energy of where you're at, what you're doing, what's going on, and allowing yourself to be in those spaces, to, you know, sit with yourself in that space, no matter what it is, rather than just trying to rush through it. This is like moving through it with intention, is what I just heard. And when you give yourself that permission, last quarter moon in Aries, work through your feelings. We know emotions are energy in motion, and you have to feel it to heal it. Well, through the process of you doing that, what you're doing is creating an environment for you to feel safe, to see the bigger picture. You know, you're overlooking, rather than holding on to the physical lesson in the experience, you're giving yourself permission to work through it, relax, take a breather, practice the pause, you know, and recalibrate. How have you been sitting? What is the energy that you're in? Take a reality check. You know, you're still vibrationally, or if you're still externally experiencing all of these things, then what's going on with you internally and emotionally for you to be attracting that? And what are you needing to take that step forward and give yourself permission to express your truth, because that's what you want for you. Loving yourself. Embrace the flow of life. Full moon in Gemini. Being in that mindset. You know, the Geminis, you can either battle against each other and battle within yourself, or you can create the space to work through it and come together. Be in the flow. Are you continuously trying to swim upstream, or can you give yourself permission to finally start swimming downstream? Take inspired action. Full moon in Virgo in the reverse. So if you're not feeling inspired, push through any insecurity. First quarter moon in Cancer, and then work through your feelings. The last quarter moon in Aries. So to me, this too, and then we have detoxify, full moon in Taurus. Being really grounded. You have the Gemini, you have Virgo, you have Cancer, and you have Aries. So you have earth, air, fire, and water. All four elements. And it's allowing yourself to work through those feelings, you know, the insecurities, the doubts, different things like that, you know, any fears, and have a conversation with yourself, though, rather than like running away from it or, you know, feeling unworthy. Like, what if you sat with it and gave yourself permission to have a conversation with it, rather than holding on to this over here, giving yourself permission to be in it, explore it, move through it, because it doesn't define you. The only way it defines you is if you allow it to. And this week, your guides are like, no, give yourself that permission. Okay, believe in your good luck. First quarter moon in Sagittarius. And then at the bottom of the deck, you have make time for self-love. So we're not going to leave it out, but it is that, like, it's in the reverse. So make sure, again, self-care, loving yourself, celebrating where you are along the way, because it's time for you to believe in your good luck. Think it through. And then first quarter moon in Leo is be humble. You know, allow yourself to lean into the gratitude. How many times do you give your energy to the things that haven't worked out yet, you're not where you are, or allowing yourself, you know, to be where you are and celebrating and acknowledging that and giving yourself permission? Think it through, taking that space. New moon in Gemini. We have a new moon coming up here in the next like week or so, something like that. And it's all about the new beginnings. You know, take that, believe in your good luck. And you don't always need to know the how everything is coming out. It's just, you know, allowing yourself to believe that everything is working out in your favor. And you're safe and you're supported, because you're showing up as this future version of yourself over here rather than this version over here. And you're putting yourself in that spotlight. You're allowing yourself to be humbled by those experiences rather than holding on to like the negativity of what you've been through, you know, and holding on to that, like, I'm a victim and ain't it awful and things like that. This to me really is, your guides are like, hey, can you recognize just how different you are and how much that energy has changed, and giving yourself permission to be in the receiving. You know, it's really funny because even as I was shuffling the deck and pulling them out, getting them ready for the reading, this card got stuck, and it's, am I focused on what I'm gaining or losing? And this to me very much is a lot of this energy, right? Justice is here for you, but you can see it, or you can turn a blind eye to it and hold on to, you know, the overwhelm of everything from the past. Or what if you allow yourself to be humble, right? Be in that space of gratitude. How can I be more flexible right now? You know, sitting in, reframing that narrative, taking your time, thinking it through. Is this really actually what you want to do? You know, what are you giving your energy to? What boundaries need to be created or strengthened within my relationships? Where can you honor and own your value more and speak your truth and give yourself permission to feel worthy of it? You know, you're pulling yourself out of the cold. You are showing up. You're doing the work. You're asking for help. You're advocating. You know, you're giving yourself permission. You're moving through it. To where does my soul want to travel? And like, since we got, like, we had a whole pile of them jump out. And I'm like, yeah, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. All the cards, 1141. Look at that. Sequence, alignment, thinking it through, showing up differently, because what you're doing is giving yourself permission. You're allowing yourself, right? Here's the thing. In order for you to move from here to here, you have to first acknowledge and accept fully and completely that this is where you're at. And acknowledge that that's okay, because it's stepping stones. You're moving forward. You're creating the things, right? Where you are 5 years from now, or even a year from now, taking everything that you've taught and you've gone through and experienced in this last year, and then, you know, integrating it and moving forward and expanding, because even when you look at it, 2025 is all about the endings, the releasings, the karma. You're letting go. You're transforming that energy and that experience, because you're giving your energy to something different. You're allowing yourself to witness how everything is working in your favor. You're allowing yourself to witness, you know, that you sometimes are your greatest block, because if you don't feel safe to expand, then you've got to give yourself that permission to be like, okay, what is the energy that I'm sitting in, and where am I ready to shift and change? The magic is in the 1% shift. That's where the magic is, in the 1% shift every single day. Because where you were a year ago to where you are today, and then where you are today to being a year from now, again, you're shifting and transforming, creating that 1% shift every day. How can I infuse more self-love and compassion into my daily life? If your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. Buddha. So this week and today, your soul is calling you to choose one self-care action to do today. Set stronger boundaries. Meditate and listen to your heart. Speak to yourself with compassion. Focus on your strengths. Say no to something that isn't a soul yes. Say yes to something you are afraid of. Let go of what you cannot control. Stay far away from drama and negativity. Ask for help and allow it. Write down 3 things that you are grateful for. Bring more love and compassion into your life. Infuse more of that, right? Doing one of those things every single day. And then watch your world change. Because rather than giving your energy to the negativity and the not enoughness and the dense heavy, You're infusing more of that love and compassion into your experience. You're giving yourself permission to move through it, and you're showing up differently, which in turn is going to change what it is that you experience. When was the last time I couldn't stop laughing or smiling? Go back to a moment when you laughed so hard you almost peed your pants. Or you did. Feel the laughter grow in your body, your cheeks hurting and eyes watering. Maybe there was even a snort or two. Laughter is healing. It reminds us to take life less seriously and find the joy in the littlest things. Note to self, laugh more often. Today your soul is asking you to make somebody laugh today. What if you brought more of that laughter and that play and that joy into your life? What if you loved life, right? What does it mean for life to love you? What does that look like? What does that feel like? I heard that the other day and I was like, wow, that is amazing. Like, let life love you. Let life love you. And what does that mean for life to love you? How would you show up if life loved you? And be in that embodiment. Give yourself permission. How does my body want to move today? When we move, we change our state and raise our vibration. This new elevated state becomes a channel for more energy. Are you moving your body daily? Are you passionate about it? Is it time to try something new? Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Try the new Demega Flow. Today, your soul is asking you to ask, how does your body want to move today? Listen and joyfully do. So move your body, get out. That's the thing, is if you're just sitting and sitting and sitting, like you're sitting in the energy, you're sitting in the emotions, you've got to move your body. Because that physical vibration, here's the thing, the more you care for yourself, the more the universe can care for you as well. And I heed these messages just as much as you do. And I'm like, Demega Flow is supposed to happen. It hasn't happened a couple of times now because just life has happened and that's okay. But it's also, again, not holding on to that. Allow yourself to be where you are. How can I deepen my trust right now? Trust. Surrender. Let go of the wheel. You can trust. You can trust yourself. Trust fully in yourself so that you can deepen your trust in others. Trust creates safety, and when we feel safe, we feel unstoppable. If you don't feel safe in what it is that you're creating, you're going to stop yourself every single time. Every single time. Welcome to self-sabotage. Because you have to give yourself permission to trust. Trust the process. Trust everything that's coming through right at the moment, because it's something that you've asked for, that you've manifested and you've created for some reason or another. So today, your soul is seriously asking you to let go and trust. Today, find your center in the chaos and be certain with yourself so you can deepen your trust in others. So chaos, 7 of Cups, infinite possibilities, unlimited options. But rather than being caught up in the chaos of it or the overwhelm of it, you're deepening your trust in what it is that you're creating for you. You're holding on to it so hell-bently that you're like, you know what, don't matter how long it's going to take for me to get there. I know that this is what I'm worthy of, and so I'm trusting the process. I'm showing up as if it already is. I'm giving myself permission to dream big. I'm moving forward. I'm believing in my good luck. I'm embodying my emotions. I'm anchoring myself in the purity of all that I am and allowing yourself the space and permission to be in it, to move through it. Humbleness, gratitude. You know, how many times a day do you find yourself saying thank you? All the time or not at all? And recognize that, right? And I mean, if you're like, I haven't been in a space of thanking the universe, like, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up for it. You know, I mean, if you're pissed off, if you're frustrated, if you're going through all of the emotions, cool. Own it. Love it. Love yourself in all of that, because that's what your soul is asking for. So trust the process. Trust yourself. And ask yourself, what else could this mean? There are always multiple ways to look at every situation. Our first reaction is usually rooted in our fears and limiting beliefs. Look at a situation today by stepping outside of the trigger and ask, what else could this mean? Today, your soul action, is there something your soul is calling you to learn in this moment? Or is there a pattern that is ready to be broken? Walk in the other person's shoes and see it from their perspective. If it doesn't involve someone else, ask yourself, how is life happening for me right now? Life is not happening to you. It's happening for you and through you. You are like the straw. Don't hold on to everything that you're experiencing, because that's how you continue, right? Embrace the flow of life. Allow yourself to be in it, right? Hold on, let go. So even for example, right, bringing it back with that dad and opening that door of like, okay, yeah, that is still something that I want, and that is fair, and that's okay. Doesn't have to be this guy over here, because again, if Calgary is not where I want to stay, then why would I manifest that soul-aligned relationship in a city that I don't want to be in, right? But not being upset with that though, because again, having the emotions that went along with it show me that that is still something that I want, and that's okay. But also acknowledging that if I'm meant to be alone in this life, that's also okay, because my value is within me and how I get to show up, and, you know, success and living this life, traveling the world and doing all of these things that I want to do. I don't have to sacrifice one or the other, because I can have it all. It's allowing myself to believe in it all. And that's where it shifts and changes, because, you know, if you don't believe that it is possible, then you're never going to allow yourself to step into it. So you have to believe that it is actually possible, you know, and acknowledging it and recognize, like, where are you holding yourself back? What excuses am I making right now? How funny is that? Right in alignment. No more waiting. There will never be a good enough time. The time is now. Today, your soul is asking you, if it's important enough to you, you will find a way. Today, make a decision and do it even if you don't feel ready. Listen to your heart. You will be led. So this to me is really allowing your heart to guide you. What are you being called to? No more excuses. No more holding yourself back. No more thinking that you have to wait, or the shoulda, woulda, couldas, or, you know, like, you need some sign. Well, you know what? Maybe that sign, A, this is your sign. Go and fucking do it. And B, maybe that sign is you being like, you know what? I'm going to be the sign. Be the sign for me. Because we close it out with, what passion am I ready to pursue? Your passions will continually lead you to your purpose. What passions have you put on the side, given up on, or buried? What passion is ready to come alive in you? It's time for you to get excited about what you're passionate about. Today, your soul is asking you to write a list of the passions to which you want to give life right now. then journal how you can incorporate more of what you are passionate about into your daily life. Trust your soul's whispering and let your passion draw you towards your dream life. Ask, believe, receive. If you're passionate about it, you will find a way to make it happen. You're going to show up, you're going to follow through, you're going to do the work because you believe in what it is that you're creating. I'm going to put that there with the Justice card. Everything is working in your favor, but you got to ask yourself, right? King of Cups with the Queen of Cups. What are you passionate about? Be in the emotions, energy in motion. You have to feel it to heal it because it reveals what's underneath it. So go into it this week. Allow yourself to be humbled by your experiences. Take the inspired action. Push through the insecurities. Put yourself out there. Show up. Do the work. And allow yourself to communicate those dreams and desires to the universe from a state of believing that it is possible rather than blocking yourself. And as always, this is a generalized reading. This is what I have for you, so I hope it helps. Think it through. Have an amazing and beautiful rest of your day. If you are interested in booking a personalized reading, enter Lounge 10 for your 10% discount. I love you all. Have an amazing and beautiful day, and I will see you tomorrow for your Reiki Healing Wednesday. Mwah. Bye.